wonderful people out there. How are you doing today? And welcome to Daily Wellness Shorts with Vishwajit Matkar. Many of my corporate wellness clients have been asking me on tips on how to stay fit while you're working from home, because most of them are working from home, and there are a few challenges, and rightly so, because first of all, very few people have got a home office setup, which is an ergonomic kind of a setup with a proper table and a chair, with a good back support, with a good elbow support, and a neck support. So 99%, I would say 99% of the people are actually working in a makeshift kind of an office where, or a desk, which is either a dining table chair, or it's a sofa, or some people are sitting on the bed with cushions for support. You got to do what you got to do. So how do you take care of your fitness levels, and what are the challenges that one would be facing when you're working from home? Now, there are three challenges which I see. One is the body becoming stiff, especially the major joints getting affected because you're sitting in one posture, in one position for a long time without proper support. Second is the internal factor, the stress levels. The mind does get stressed because you don't really have, or you don't get a break per se. You are at home, and under current scenario circumstances, you can't even go out. You can't go down. There's no cafeteria to go out and take a break. So you're actually right there. And plus there are other stressors which are affecting you. So the stress levels are increasing. So there are ways in which you can take care of the stress. And the third is the nutrition. Nutrition also gets affected big time. So how to take care of the nutritional aspect? So three areas which we will be talking about. Today I will be talking about one area, which is the physical part, how to take care of the major joints. So first thing is, let's understand what happens with the joints. Now when you're sitting in one posture or in one position for a very long time and without the proper support, the joints tend to get stiff. The lubrication of the joints goes down, and when the lubrication goes down, you start feeling that kind of stiffness, that kind of tightness, or there is a slight nagging pain. And it's actually not a problem. There is no problem with the body. It's just that your joints are telling you, we need some movement. And that's exactly what you got to give them. Move them. So let's look at which joints are getting affected. Starting from the top, the first joint that gets affected is your neck, because you're either using your laptop, keeping it on the lap, or keeping it on a center table. You're looking down constantly. So the cervical area is affected by looking down, or you are just holding it or crossing your leg, keeping it on your lap. There are various ways in which we do it, right? Or you're sitting on the bed and keeping the laptop on an elevated surface. So yet still the neck is getting affected. So neck is the first joint which gets affected. How do we stretch the neck? Very simple exercises. First of all, mobilize the neck. So mobilizing the neck is where you just turn your neck from left to right. Okay, left and right. Feel a good stretch. And then you go up and down. Now if you see, when I go up, I'm not hyperextending my neck. I don't go all the way up. I'm just going up, stretching this area, and then going down, stretching the hind portion, cervical. Going up, going down, and left and right. So you can do about 10 or 15 of each of these repetitions. It's good for mobility, it's good for stretching as well. Another good stretch for the neck is just turning your head to the side. When you turn your head to the side like this, you will feel a good stretch in this area, the neck. Okay, if you want to stretch it more, if you can't really feel too much of a stretch here, you use your hand and gently push the head down. And use your hand, gently push your head down. And same way, use your hand and gently push your head down. Awesome. So that takes care of stretching the neck. Another area which gets affected is your shoulders, because either your hands are too high or they are too low, or one hand is up, or you're just sitting on a desk with your body facing on the other side and one hand is up and you're looking at one side. So there is imbalance which is created in your shoulder joint, or the shoulder becomes stiff. So one way to do and stretch the shoulder is, first is to rotate backwards and forward. When you do this, you'll feel a very good sensation in your shoulder and just behind the neck. It's very relaxing. So backward and forward, just about 10-10. And then you stretch your shoulder more by just lifting one hand up, taking it around, press the elbow with the other hand. With the other hand. So that takes care of your shoulder. Another joint is your elbow joint. So one is, you need to keep moving the elbows like this. Yeah, so this is the mobilization exercise for the elbows. You just need to mobilize the elbows, and then you keep your wrist and rotate your wrist clockwise and anti-clock. See that? Clockwise and anti-clock. So this really mobilizes the wrist. It opens up the wrist. The stiffness in the wrist goes away. And for your fingers, you've been typing a lot. You've been, using the keyboard for a long time. So just stretch your fingers. This way. Yeah? Stretch your fingers. Stretch and down. Stretch and relax. Stretch and relax. See how good you feel. See the sensation? And another stretch for the wrist is holding your hands like this and pushing it to one side. Do as much as you can. Okay, don't push yourself too much. Push. That's a good one for the wrist. So that takes care of the elbow, wrist, shoulder and neck. Another area which gets affected is your back. So first is, you just mobilize the back. So you can stretch, keep your hands like this, or while you're sitting on the chair, like this, just stretch. Okay, and do as much as you can. You don't want to get a pull. So you just hold and stretch. The other side, just hold and stretch. So that's an excellent one for the back. Another one for the back is, this is for people who don't have any back problem, who don't have any stiffness or pain in the back. They can do this. So you're sitting on the chair, just go back and very gently go down, stretch, chair, touch the floor. Okay. People with a vertigo or high blood pressure, avoid this. Rest can do it. So people with a vertigo, high blood pressure, lower back pain or stiffness, or rather a problem with the lower back, don't do this. The rest of you all can do it. It's a very good stretch for the lower back. So you just go down, touch and roll up. Yeah, it's like you're rolling your spine up all the way. Next one is for the knee joint. But before the knee, let's go to the hip joint. Yeah, so we have worked the back, now we go to the hip. Now how do you stretch the hip while you're sitting down on the chair? So while you're on the chair, just pull your knee up to your chest. Very good stretch for the hip. This way. Okay, hold it for about 10 to 15 seconds. Another one for the hip flexor. This is another area which gets tight. So you cross a leg with this hand, very gently push down. You'll feel the stretch here. Wonderful stretch. Very gently push down. Yeah, super. Wow, what a stretch. The same goes on the other side. So you can do it on both the sides.
Another area is groin, so you can actually keep your legs wide while you're sitting on the chair and pull your knees out as much as you can. As much as you can. It's a good stretch for the groin. Just pull your knees out. And you feel the stretch. Okay, and now we move to the knee joint. Knee joint is also one joint which gets majorly affected when you're sitting for a very long time. So one way to mobilize your knee joint is just doing this extension. You can do it with one leg at a time, or you can do alternate legs. So keep doing this in between. While you're sitting for too long, just keep moving your knees like this. Okay, just move your calves. You see this? I'm just raising my heel up. It's also stretching and working my calf. And now you pull you see the toe? Pull your toe up. Pull your toe up. So this is also stretching the calf muscle. While you pull your toe up, so the toe is like this, and you pull it up. It's a good stretch for the calf. So if you notice, all the exercises, or rather stretches or mobilization exercises, were done while sitting on the chair. So especially for people working from home, while you're sitting for very, very long hours, do these stretches, do these mobilization exercises so your body is in good working condition. You're fit, you're healthy, and you're mobile. There is no stiffness, there is no tightness. Alright? So take care, do these stretches, do these exercises. Do let me know how it works for you, and also do put up your queries or requests on what else would you want to learn, or what else would you want to know with regards to wellness, whether it's your mind, whether it's your body, or it's nutrition. I'll be glad to help. Thank you, stay recharged, take care.